Save Our Streets. It's our ongoing Fox 29 initiative asking what we can do to make our streets safer. And community leaders joined together in West Oak Lane for an anti-violence symposium aimed at supporting our local youth. Here's my story on Power Up Philly.
You know, just trying to live a regular life when, you know, people are getting shot left or right.
We want to make a change because some of our kids is not even getting a chance to see past 16. And I feel like everybody deserves a chance to see past 16.
So, we're not going to put any kind of phrase on the back of our jersey. We're not going to walk out of any games. We're going to not play in Philadelphia. Listen to what these kids are living through. And those of you who subscribe to this channel know that this is actually factual. This is not a embellishment. They're not exaggerating. It's literally like this there. And these kids, they literally have to wait until somebody gets shot by a cop for anyone to care. And then they'll only care about that. And once CNN and MSNBC leave town, you won't hear nothing about even that guy anymore. Whoever got shot by a cop. But my thing is, the cops who are protecting these kids and these two bright young kids, they're representative of the thousands and thousands of kids in Philadelphia. Good kids. Bright futures. That have to walk the streets in fear. That know dozens and dozens of people their age that have been shot and killed. I always laugh because on the live stream we do on Tuesdays and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. on my other channel, Ock Nation TV. On those live streams, we ask gliders oftentimes, do you know anyone who's been killed in the streets due to gun violence? And it could be 50, 60, and they don't know anybody. They may know a domestic incident. They may know somebody who's died in the army, who's in the service, you know. But they don't know anybody who's just been shot down in the street. And I promise you these kids know dozens.
Just trying to live a regular life when, you know, people are getting shot left or right.
We want to make a change because some of our kids is not even getting a chance to see past 16. And I feel like everybody deserves a chance to see past 16.
We want to get them to reflect.
Every time you hear young people discuss the reality of the gun violence that they face, it should make us all cringe, but we also need to acknowledge those trying to do something about it.
I mean, it's awful that young people out here shoot one another. But we're the adults, right? Kids gonna do what they can get away with, no matter what kind of kid, on any spectrum, you know what I mean? So we gotta take the responsibility.
Shout out to Pork Chop here, man. He made a bunch of points, man. Great points. Well, yeah, the adults can do something about this, yeah. The main thing the adults need to do that kids can't do is vote. Vote out Larry Krasner, the district attorney, who's unleashing all of these violent criminals onto your streets. Everyone knows Philly is a rough city, and it's always been. But if you look at the trend in the murder rates over the years, in this year they have well over 500. But if you look at the trend over the years, it wasn't that bad compared to now. They just broke the record from 1990. So the 90s were rough. Coming into the 2000s and 2000 and the teens, things had slowed down considerably. And it was very livable, even though it was a very dangerous place. The adults need to vote out these Democrats and vote out these super liberal, soft on crime, thug loving prosecutors. The kids can't do that. So while he's talking, I know this guy's probably thinking about like a speech or a program or something like that. No, just do what adults can do. Stop bashing the police and get these Democrats out of here.
I mean, it's awful that young people out here shoot one another. But we're the adults, right? Kids gonna do what they can get away with, no matter what kind of kid, on any spectrum, you know what I mean? So we gotta take the responsibility.
And that's what was happening on this day in Oak Lane. Adults from various backgrounds were taking the time to try to teach young people better options before it's too late.
I started off as a rap artist. I got into a little bit of trouble, created my clothing brand and my sneaker brand while I was incarcerated, and now I'm home trying to make a change.
Listen to this guy's story. And listen, I wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to play ball. These are the same dreams that many son men have. It's just amazing just hearing these. When you hear these are the dreams that son people have, and where do you go with that? Just that dream. A dream deferred leads you to a clothing line where it's just like, I mean, okay. But along the way, there was prison. There was crime. The same old story. It never ceases to amaze me how many brothers go through the same old story, and it has nothing to do with supremacy, has nothing to do with the pandemic, nothing. This is all has to do with hardware. The hardware system that is in this brother is the same hardware system that is in me. And you can't fix that.
I started off as a rap artist. I got into a little bit of trouble, created my clothing brand and my sneaker brand while I was incarcerated, and now I'm home trying to make a change.
It's sad that, we'll all organize for the funeral. But how about we start having pre-funerals, right? For the person that we know needs the intervention. Because everybody gonna show up for the funeral and celebrate the life. But if everybody that showed up at the funeral showed up now for that kid that we know is on their way to a funeral, and we do an intervention, we won't have no funerals.
Students from 2 local schools were the first to participate in the anti-violence symposium. They did have some fun, got to just be kids and teens, but they also learned what to do when faced with things escalating to violence.
They never been presented with other options a lot of times, so if the thing to do is to have a gun to protect yourself, that's what the kid's gonna do if that's all they know. Until an option is presented.
These kids need support. They need to be talked to like, kids, and understand that they are kids and they have to be molded into being an adult. And that's what I think the main thing is here.
Now, listen, man. Salute to these brothers, but I'm sure you guys can see just from listening to, there's no solutions there. None of these are solutions. Talking. And these are good kids they're talking to. I think they forgot the assignment. The kids that are doing the shootings in the streets of Philadelphia, very few of them are here. Yeah, it's a couple. But very few of them are here. They wouldn't come to this. These are the good kids in Philadelphia. These kids, they may not make the best grades. They may not have the best diction. They may not, go to school every day. But these are the kids that, you can reach these kids because these kids are not going to be, maybe these kids steal or maybe these kids fight. Some of these kids fight, but these are not the shooters. The shooters, although they're these kids' age, are not here. So you're talking to the kids that aren't committing the lion's share of the crime in their age group, in their city. And the guys who are talking to those guys, the violence interrupters, the anti-violence activists on the streets, they're getting shot dead. I just did a story. I do a story every week somewhere. Those guys get killed. So I think these guys missed the assignment. Because talking to these kids, it does have, I guess it serves a purpose as you showing them an adult from their same area and background. But however, the shooters and the killers, they're out. They would never come to this thing. They're too cool for that. They'd have to be dragged here, and if they came, they'd leave early. Well, they ain't listening. The few of them that are here. It's a very hard, very difficult situation here, and I just don't know how you fix this.
The main thing is here.
This was the first symposium, but organizers say it's not the last. They'll be going to every neighborhood, addressing as many students as possible, because they believe doing our part is all of our responsibility.
We just need to stop, because at the end of the day, we're all a community and we all trying to make it out. So I feel like adults, they should just hear us out more, like listen, like talk, help us.
If we start healing there with these 1,000 murders, if we start to heal in there, then the healing will trickle out just like the violence is trickling out.
We continue on with our Save Our Streets initiative. So if you have ideas, solutions, people whose story needs to be shared, please just reach out to us. You can email me, you can tweet me at Bill A. Fox29 or any of the Fox 29 family. We want to work together to try to save our streets. Philadelphia police are looking into what could
to a growing problem affecting every community, violence against women. News 5's DeLon Dillard reports a local group is teaching men and boys to become part of the solution.
Art McCoy with Cleveland's Black on Black Crime says he couldn't stay silent any longer.
Black men are coming together and we're making a statement. And the statement is this: there is no darn excuse for killing our black women.
McCoy said just last week he was walking his dog in East Cleveland when he found the body of a woman near Terrace and Hastings Avenue.
It's so bad that you can go for a walk and find the body of a dead sister. I just did the story the other day. The sister in Philly, they just found her lying in the alley burning, body burning. This is Cleveland, but it could be any city. And of course, LeBron we'll get no statement from LeBron about this. The fact that they literally gotta beg these dudes to stop killing sisters up here in Cleveland in the street. Not really the domestic thing is bad, but the majority of sisters get killed in the street. Okay? No statement from LeBron. Nothing. Maybe he doesn't know this is going on. But I guarantee you, if a 47.5-year-old grown, rusty, silver fox done lived his whole life wrong, aged son, man, got in a fight with a cop, resisted arrest during a lawful arrest, and got killed. I bet LeBron will find out about that. But all these sisters getting killed to the point where you just be walking down the street and you find it, and you trip up over something, you turn around and, oh, that was a sister. I was just tripping over sisters, man, while they going on walks, man.
And the statement is this: there is no darn excuse for killing our black women.
McCoy said just last week he was walking his dog in East Cleveland when he found the body of a woman near Terrace and Hastings Avenue. That woman was later identified as 28-year-old Kaylin Moore. Investigators say she was shot in the head and a man faces murder charges in connection with the crime.
I'm old school. And there's one thing we don't do is disrespect our women and our children.
And in November, police say 22-year-old Alicia Powell was kidnapped, tortured, and killed. Her body was found in this abandoned East Cleveland home. 7 people currently face charges in connection with her death.
And I had this on my desk. But like I tell you guys, there's so much stuff I can't really get into. Because I might have to go live more. Because there's so many things that I don't get a chance to get into. That I was aware of this when this happened. Alicia Powell. This woman was kidnapped and tortured over the course of several days. Because people thought, I think they thought she had information about a crime that was committed. So you just get to kill somebody in a gruesome manner, and there's no outrage. There's no protest. There's no marching. Again, there'll be no statement from LeBron, nothing. This sister just goes into the archives of all the sisters that were slain.
91-year-old Essie Henry was also found dead last month. Officials say the South Euclid woman was beaten to death. Police.
And we know who's hell on some seniors. Well, it's Cleveland, so we know who did it. But let's just say it wasn't Cleveland. We would know who did it just because she's a senior. And we know who the worst on seniors, man. Goodness gracious, man. How do you do that? This stuff don't sit right with me, man. I want a crime bill, man. I want a crime bill. Name it after this woman. Essie, whatever her name is, name it after her. I want a crime bill now, man. We seeing this all over the seniors. Kids, seniors, women, it don't matter.
91-year-old Essie Henry was also found dead last month. Officials say the South Euclid woman was beaten to death. Police are still looking for suspects.
When you mistreat a woman, a queen, then it no longer goes to, I'll say, black on black crime. That's a savage on a queen crime.
A savage on a queen crime. You don't even have to call them queens, though, for this to be not right. But I do agree with calling the guys savages. The dudes is doing this stuff for savages. And, oh yeah, that's right. That's not offensive. Because they call themselves savages. So this is not offensive. They took all the bite out of it. Like they took the power out of the word. Because they call themselves savages.
When you mistreat a woman, a queen, then it no longer goes to, I'll say, black on black crime. That's a savage on a queen crime.
The group's leadership tells me they are out in the community spreading this message to other young men. They say they make house calls when they learn about mothers having issues with their own sons. And they say they're also on Cleveland State's campus speaking to college students. This woman tells me she was the victim of a stabbing back in 2008 and says the recent deadly crimes against women brought back a feeling of raw fear.
It feels like like we're helpless. We have no help. We're just here. It feels like nobody's standing up for us.
How could that be, sister, when the most popular athlete of the last 20 years hails from your town? Akron, Cleveland metropolitan area. How could you be out here by yourself? Doesn't make any sense, man. Where's Jesse Williams, man? Remember that speech Jesse Williams gave, man? Where's Big Sean? Big Sean called you gods, man, the other day. It's all lip service, man. You are out here on your own. And unfortunately, sister, it's only the beginning. Well, at least you got a 10% sister in the White House. So I guess y'all winning.
It feels like we're helpless. We have no help. We're just here. It feels like nobody's standing up for us.
But McCoy says black-on-black crime will continue to do just that.
As black men in our community, if we cannot protect our women and children, then we're not men.
Delon Dillard, News 5.